week on Video Game Tango, we make a compliment sandwich.
Hi, I'm Nick, and Stardew Valley is apparently pretty good.
Hi, I'm Josh, and there's so much more room for activities at Ubisoft because of the layoffs.
And I'm Andy. Welcome to Video Game Tango. Except for you, Richard. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Video Game Tango.
We have fun here on the Tango podcast.
We do. You got to join the pre-stream.
You gotta. Yeah, that was so.
Again, I say it every week. You're missing out if you're not there.
You got to be here for the live.
We have decided in these last 2 weeks that for at least the time being, we're going to do our best to avoid as many bad news articles as we can, which means this week, we bring you the delight of a mediocre, roughly 20 to 30 minute podcast.
Yeah, dude.
News that is not awful is thin.
I brought a little bad news.
I mean, it seems to make its way.
I mean,
the door shuts.
To follow up on something when it's important or whatever, we're gonna do that. But it just kind of sucks every week being like, hey, 10,000 more people lost their jobs. The industry's greedier than ever. Everything's gonna cost more, and studios closed down. So
if you really want to know about all that stuff, open up any gaming news website.
Yeah, because that's all there is.
Right there.
That's all there is. I mean, or there's 10 ways to get the thing in Night Rain.
Yes, 10 ways to get the thing in Night Rain. You know what's higher than 10? A lot of things, including Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Stardew Valley, which has now been out for almost a decade, 9 years or something.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Is officially the best rated #1 Steam game of all time, having beat out Portal 2, which held the position for 14 years.
'Tis impressive.
It is very impressive. It currently has a rating of 8.87. What that means, it has 98% positive reviews across 900,000 votes. Portal 2 is at 99%, but it has only 436,000. Terraria brings up third place with a staggering 1.4 million votes, but only 97%. 3% of people, they're not down for Terraria. I think well deserved.
Yeah, me too. I have put probably over 1,000 hours into Stardew Valley now, and I mean, I'm not like a day one player, but I am like a day two player essentially. I started playing really, really early build, and I come back every time there's like new content. And Concerned Ape has been really, I think, generous with the amount of content that he's put out since even 1.0, especially considering that multiple times he's declared that like I'm done with Stardew Valley, I'm moving on to other projects. He can't even let Stardew go, right? So it's one of those things where like it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but it is very obviously a labor of love, and just so much time and attention and detail has been put into the game that while farming sims, which it's more than that, like it's got combat, it's a very well-rounded game. If you were to take
milk,
it does have milk. In fact, it has iridium milk. So
it's got mayo.
It does have
got
mayo.
Void eggs.
And void mayonnaise.
And void mayonnaise.
Yeah.
What do you get when you combine them all together?
Well, the devil. But short of summoning Satan, I've done most of the content in Stardew Valley, and still I managed to, even without new content put down, I set goals for myself sometimes where it's like, okay, well, I want $1 million before the end of year one. And for some players, that's like, oh, dude, I have $1 million by the end of month one. But I'm a little bit more casual than that. That said, we've discussed Stardew Valley and my addiction with it at length. It's not a game that like most people would call it a cozy game, or like it defines the cozy genre. For me, I don't play it that way. I absolutely go in and min-max. Like I said, arbitrary days
Factorio Stardew Valley.
Yeah, pretty much. I have to be married by X date, make sure I have kids by X date.
Get out of my way.
But I still find new things. I don't look at any guides ever unless it's content that I've already done, just to remind myself, like how to woo Abigail, things like that. But because I don't, I run into new stuff all the time. Like I didn't know that there was an upgrade to the Galaxy Sword. until
Void
very
mayonnaise
recently.
sword.
Yeah, it's the Void Mayo sword. So yeah, it's one of those games that just kind of does keep on giving, and as long as you're into that kind of game, like if you've ever played a Harvest Moon, I honestly think it is the best version of that. It's kind of hard to deny, and the proof is kind of in the pudding as far as the Steam reviews go.
I'm glad that if we zoom out a little bit, that
Zoom out.
we've essentially re-burgeoned an old genre into something new. Like, how many times do genres as a whole, like, kind of bloom out of nowhere?
Well,
you know?
the interesting thing is Harvest Moon is still a pretty popular series.
Yeah,
but
and it's been around since the early
it
mid-90s.
kind of is that.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of started the genre. Like, there are games that did similar things before it, but it definitely kind of kickstarted it.
Cozy games before Stardew Valley were few and far between, right? The genre, was in existence, but it's nice just to see a new thing. I mean, of course, it does bring the glut of, all the low effort cozy games. There are a lot of them out there. But yeah, that just means that someone's going to play Stardew, love it, go on to be a game dev, and maybe make the next one.
Yeah.
Very
I know.
cool.
It's also a game that I don't think it's the best game ever made, right? I wouldn't choose it over a lot of other games.
Choose that,
Yeah, but like to kind of qualify it, it is a game that is of high enough quality and has enough unique experiences in it that it's kind of something that you can always come back to.
Yeah.
It's the best relationship you ever had. It's the one that she's the one that you remember and compare all other potentials to, right? Yeah. Like it's a unique experience. I think even if you're not into it, it can sometimes be like less than $5, and it's on everything. Mm-hmm. So I'd say if you haven't played it, pick it up.
And tune in next week because Andy said pre-stream that he's going to play through the whole game with his eyes closed.
No, I did not. However, I if anybody's interested in watching it, I'll stream it. I love Stardew Valley.
Get that Void Man.
Stardew Valley is like the Doom of cozy games. Like you play it on your calculator. It's on everything.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a version on the TI-86 or whatever is latest. Yeah.
I love how your approach to Stardew Valley though is like, nah, bitch, Uno's a game. This is the fucking economy.
Yeah.
No, man.
They're churning out potatoes.
And I care about those townspeople, man.
Now, speaking of townspeople and the economy, Ubisoft does not care about them. So last week...
Pierre would be pissed.
Pissed. So last week I talked about Star Wars Outlaws and how I was having at the deal. I got a pretty good time. So this week I'm talking about how Ubisoft just keep laying people off. They just keep laying people off. Now, this time it's only like 40-ish people, but it's from 2 different studios, one of which is including Red Team, which makes most of the Tom Clancy games. So like your Rainbow Siege 6, like the new anyway. It's the Tom Clancy studio. Mm-hmm. So like 20 people got laid off there, 1920. Now, the real stick in the mud, or what's the stick in my mud anyway, is Ubisoft got what amounted to a $1.25 billion cash infusion from Tencent. Yeah. And they can't afford to throw that like 40 people's way at this point. Like, you can't keep 40 people on. But... So this is all part of their apparent restructuring plan, and so the main studios that do Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, and those aren't being touched. But any side studios or anything like that, they're still taking hits, and it's I don't know. To me, I can understand, like, when Ubisoft, like, flopped an Assassin's Creed or something, it's like, yeah, man, people's jobs are on the line. Like, that makes sense. But they literally got over $1 billion.
With the B.
Dollars infused just this year. And they're still laying people off halfway through as part of their structuring plan. And it's like, no, it's just going in. It's going in already 2 full pockets is what it's doing.
Yep.
It's certainly not going into fucking game development. Like, Star Wars is fun, but it's not. It's other than the swoop bike. I'm still like, I'll die on that hill. That swoop bike is fun. Other than that, there's nothing like crazy inventive. There's nothing terrible, but there's nothing.
Right? No, it's Assassin's Creed with a Star Wars skin.
So, I don't know. It's just it's when you hear like bullshit business words like we're crystallizing the value of our assets, strengthening the value of the balance sheet. It's like, what? We're talking about people's lives.
We gave our balance sheet
and I get it. It's capitalism, it's business jargon, but I don't know. To me,
why bother saying anything?
Like exactly at this
because
point,
they have to say something.
Yeah, I guess they have to say something.
To.
But when you
for the investors, they do.
When there's $1 billion back there, and you're just being said, well, hey, we're going to keep your health insurance on till the end of the month, and we'll help you transition to a new job. Like it sucks when you know that there's $1 billion behind the door back there, and your $45K a year job or $50K a year job can't be supported. That's
$1 billion is $1,000 million. That is a number a 5-year-old says when they try to think of something large, except it's real, right?
Yeah.
So that's the fun news, the sad news.
That's the compliment sandwich. That's the poop in the middle.
So now we're gonna like bring in some more.
Now that we're done with poop,
the good stuff.
Yeah. Now that we're done. Wait. My favorite part of the Oreo is the middle, unfortunately. So
not this Oreo.
Yeah, I guess not. This is the poop Oreo.
Is it just? Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, we just
this is our last article.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's gonna be really light.
Moving
I came
quick.
ill prepared because this is the most tired I've ever been in my entire life.
So now, while we've talked about media strikes, particularly the video game strike, the SAG-AFTRA strike went on for over 11 months. A lot of terrible things happened in 2024 and have led into 2025. If you're a conscious thinking person, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. But a good thing happened. SAG-AFTRA and the Big Ten, what amounts to the Big Ten video game corporations, finally reached an agreement. Now, there's not a crazy amount of numbers out, but we are talking some significant pay increases. In some cases, upwards of 15% pay increases for a lot of voice actors. They're also going to be working on contracts to continue to pay them for the likeness of their voice. They get to pick when it's used. And if they go on strike again, because Lord knows they're going to have to, they can actually pause the use of their AI-generated voice. So it does seem in what they've released so far that there is actually some protections for actors in the video game industry going forward with AI and pay increases. So anytime, and it just goes to show, maybe not everything needs a union, but all boats are raised in a high tide, and the unions are helping. So the union has obviously framed this as a necessary step to protect workers, their talent and their likeness, because quite frankly, people's likenesses are being used with AI generative art and voice modulation. You can straight up make a person, and that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's what being an actor is the visage, right, and your voice. So like if that's not being, then what the fuck's even the point? And it's literally almost where we're at, is for a voice actor, especially a small one who's just doing my voice is used 13 times in Grand Theft Auto because I'm radio guy and mudflap dude. And so I have, about 15, 20 lines, but making my way in. They're just going to take that guy's stuff and use it forever. Never pay him. Only pay him the one time. But they're going to make money off it several. So we were almost at the point where it didn't make sense for anyone to be a voice actor anymore.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. It sounds like collective bargaining really did win, and they got, it sounds like, essentially what was wanted and then some.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for that, because I honestly thought that the bigwigs in the industry would have just said, you know what, fuck it, we don't need voice actors anymore. Like we actually don't need this. All these voices can be generated. We can have permanent ongoing voices. We don't have to worry about somebody dying and then having to change the actor and our audience being upset and loss of revenue and et cetera, et cetera. And I'm really happy to hear that SAG-AFTRA really sounds like they won this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so, yeah, good news.
It's
It was
good.
ratified
Yeah.
literally today. So, like, kind of good breaking news, even.
Sandwich
Oh, yeah.
complete.
Now, considering that, sorry, I know you were trying to finish there, but
No, that's fine.
okay. Just considering, especially, so I want to talk about another medium real quick, and that's like TV and video,
Oh,
or
yeah,
in movies,
yeah.
right? There have always been residuals.
Oh, yeah. That's just a crazy, yeah.
Think about how old those industries are now and how profitable they have been for multiple generations now. Now, video gaming is a more profitable enterprise. It's also better selling, usually. It gets in the hands of more users. That being said, you would think that there's more money to go around. But it happened in a later stage of capitalism. I mean, let's just be honest here. Call a spade a spade. Happened in later capitalism, so they just there wasn't as much expectation as far as people earning their fair share. So I think I am genuinely surprised that things went the way of the people this time.
Yeah, me too.
Because especially considering the bargaining power the video game industry has and the fact that they are ahead in tech, like straight up, what we're seeing now is a few years, or they, these companies have had for a few years. So they've been cooking for a few years. Being they have as much money to spend as they do, and the margins only continue to grow in the games that they're selling. I'm really surprised that they just didn't go for a more permanent model. Like let's buy an LLM, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's buy developers that have designed an LLM. There's plenty that are pre-cooked that you can just buy if you're a big enough business. Let's buy them and let's have them generate voices ad infinitum, right? Because the technology is only going to get better.
Yeah.
It's hard to separate sometimes real voice from AI voice, especially if there's no face attached to it. And yeah, man, I'm that's just a long way of me saying that it's really surprising and it's really nice. It's a real win, I think, for the industry,
Yeah, absolutely.
for art.